Welcome back, everybody, and good afternoon, wherever you are. My good name is Lona, and for those who are new here, you're very, very much welcome to this YouTube channel. This is a YouTube channel, guys, where we are just sharing information about IT in general. It's about sharing knowledge, sharing ideas that could help people out there to maybe come into the field of IT or, you know, maneuver within the field of IT. So basically, guys, I felt that starting this YouTube channel would be really good because I'm one of those people who missed a lot of things because of lack of information. And I know there's someone out there like me who is maybe they have done their course in IT and they're wondering what next. What next can I do for me to get a job, or maybe transition from one job to a different job to maybe to IT. So guys, check on my two previous videos. I introduced the channel in one of the videos, and the other video I gave my story about how I got my first job in IT, and that I think it will actually, encourage you. I'm really, really hoping that it will encourage you, and maybe you can pick out something, one or two things from that video, maybe to help you also get your first job if you're not working yet, or go to your next job if you're already working. So guys, for this video today, from the title, we are talking about certifications, because guys, certifications are really good. I feel like certifications are really good, especially if you're starting, you're coming into the field for the first time, or you want to improve your skills. If you're already working and you want to improve your skills, or maybe you want to be, promoted to a certain level, or you want to transition from one field to another. I feel like certifications is one of the things that show that you're actually serious in what you want to do. Yeah. Because yeah, certifications they're not easy for someone to read and do that exam and even pay for it, because remember guys, these certificates are not free. They are paid for. You even sometimes have to pay for content to study. So I really feel like someone doing a certification is sacrificing something to show that this is what I really want to do, and I'm giving my best foot for this. Yeah, so that's how I feel about certifications. And guys, having said that, don't just do a certification just to add on your CV. Kindly, because some of these certifications, I said in my previous video that kuna kwanga na answers and available answers online, questions and answers online, and you'll find the same questions and answers in your exams. So some people have actually taken advantage of that just to finish that certificate, that exam, to add a certificate to their CV. I don't encourage that. I feel like when you decide to do a certification, then do it from your heart. Look for content to study. Ensure that you understand the concept, you get at least a skill here and there, and then go and do that exam. So that guys, even if you go for an interview and they see that you have a certification, you can actually say this is what I learned from this certificate, because you didn't just go for answers and pass. You actually took your time to study, to practice, especially if you had labs. And I'm really, really encouraging this. If there are labs for any certificate that you're doing, do it, because that is one of the things that will show that you have some hands on. Yes, because remember, if you're coming from campus, you don't have any experience at all, and you've come to do a certificate and you've actually experienced some hands on through labs. I feel like that will be really good, because you familiarize yourself. The commands that you're running when you're doing those labs are the same commands that are being used out here in the real work. Yeah. So I feel like doing labs are really, really nice. So if you're doing a certification that has labs, don't skip the labs. Do them. Do the labs. They're really good. They'll give you that confidence, that extra confidence. And nilisema guys, when you go for an interview and you're confident, you can give your answers confidently without feeling like you're timid, or you don't feel confident about yourself. That confidence and that personality, when you go for an interview, can actually carry the day. So, and that confidence comes from you understanding what you're going for. It comes from you having, if you don't have experience before, then maybe you've really studied, you've really done those practice, you've practiced using the labs. So that's where confidence comes from, and confidence can actually actually give you that job. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. When you're doing a certification, please study. Don't just go for the answers. Study, get the concept, get some experience out of it through labs, and apply for that job. You'll actually be able to answer as many questions in that interview, and you probably get that job. So guys, let's go getting into the video. Today I want us to check on to talk about the most basic certificates that can give you that starting point of you looking for a job and getting a job. Yes, assuming you're coming out of campus, you haven't had a job yet, or probably you want to transition from a certain field to the other. If you want to transition to IT, then I'm very sure at that point you know what you want to do, because IT is really wide. It's really wide. You can be a network engineer, you can be a software developer, you can be an infrastructure engineer, could be a physical infrastructure in your office, could be a cloud engineer infrastructure. You know, there are so many fields in IT that you can become an expert in. So if you look at networking, for example, someone who wants to become a network engineer, guys, there's so many products out there that companies are using for their networks. Yeah, there's so many. I can't name all of them here, but the major ones which we usually hear are Cisco products, Juniper, SolarWinds. Which are the ones? Please mention the rest here in the comments. Tell me, let me know those other products that you've come across during your work, or maybe you've had a friend saying, you know, we use this technology. Kindly put them there in my comment section. So today I want us to talk about three certificates that you can do, because most companies are doing. And guys, if you're eyeing a certain company, for example, maybe you're saying you really have a desire to work for this company. I would prefer that you call someone working in that company, or try to find out the kind of technologies the company is using, so that you can prepare yourself. Remember, guys, what I said about how I prepare myself for a job. How I prepare myself to apply for a job, I don't just apply for a job there and then if I don't have that experience at that point. What I usually do, I look at the job descriptions for that pertaining that particular job title, and I start studying for what is required for me to get that job. Yeah, that is assuming I don't have experience at that point. Maybe I want to transition. Yeah, so that means I don't have experience, I don't have knowledge. So what I do, I go for, I Google maybe job postings for that particular title. I look at the requirements and I start studying seriously for those requirements. I can, you know, study just and make sure that I have a lot of labs. Maybe try to find someone who is maybe working on those things at that moment, so that they can share information. That's how I usually do it, and I give myself time, like maybe 6 months. Then I should be confident enough to apply for this job at this point. So I was saying, when it comes to networking, and probably there's a company you're eyeing out there, you're really saying, I would really want to work for this company at some point. They'll definitely have an opening at some point, you know, at some point during the year. It could be this year, next year. So I would prefer you ask about the technologies that the company is using, because there's so many vendors. There's so many vendors for IT products, and you can't just limit yourself to one vendor, or start, you know, reading for all the vendors. It can be really frustrating if you start reading for all the vendors. For example, when it comes to networking, we've just mentioned Cisco, Juniper, Solar. There's so many others. So if you start studying this and that, it could really be frustrating, especially if you don't have a job yet. So maybe you can just focus on the major companies that you are eyeing. You're saying, I really want to work for this company. Call someone, try to find out which products they are using. Yeah, ask them, which networking products are you using? Are you using Cisco? If they say yes, they're using Cisco. They say yes, they're using Juniper, or yes, they're using SolarWinds. I'm just giving those three examples, guys. Don't limit yourself to those three. They're just examples that I'm using right now. So if the moment they tell you about the technology they're using, then you can be able to start preparing yourself. You can research about those technologies, try to find information about the technologies, how those technologies work, the kind of commands that are being used to create networks using those specific technologies. Try to see if there's a certification pertaining those ones that you can do such things. That's how you prepare yourself. And in future, when they have an opening, you'll be confident to apply for it, right? Yeah, I think so. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So look out, don't look out for information, guys. Information is really key. It's really key. Yeah, it's really key. Yes. So talking about something like Cisco, for example, if you're a starter, I think the most basic certification for Cisco is CCNA. Then they call it CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Associate. Yeah, that's the most fundamental certificate for Cisco, and that one will give you the overview of actually how those products are used, and definitely the commands. So make sure that you do the labs. I'll always emphasize on the labs, because you don't have a job yet and you need some hands-on. The labs will actually help you for that. try to use, there's so many open source simulators out there. The other day I talked about GNS3. GNS3 is one of the best simulators for networks. Kuna ingine inaitwa Packet Tracer yenye nilikuwa naona watu wakitumia sana. I know there are others. Guys, try to use them. Try to use them so that you get that confidence on running those commands. Kitu yenye tunatakanga tu ni confidence, because ukipewa switch saizi ya Cisco ukaambiwe configure this switch, will you be able to configure? The only thing that you need is confidence to run those commands, and the way you get the confidence to run the commands is if you've practiced, whether in the job or doing your labs. I can guarantee you that you'll have that confidence. So if you don't have a job yet and you're doing a certification, go for the labs. If there are labs, go for them and do them. So when it comes to Juniper, their most basic certificate inaitwa Juniper Network, Juniper JC, Juniper, I think Network Certified Associate, Juniper Network Certified Associate, something like that. So also look out for that. If a company is using Juniper products, also look out for their basic certificate that you can do that will actually give you the confidence of running those the Juniper commands, and still do the labs. Don't skip the labs. Those are the things that will actually give you, because remember, you're coming to the real world, and the real world require you to run the commands, not to give theory. Yeah, you'll be done. People will be depending on you to create a network. So if you don't have the confidence of running the commands, then what will you do? So that's why I'm really emphasizing on the labs, that you do them, you run those commands, and that's why you'll be confident. There's another very nice certificate which I've seen so many people doing in it. It's called is it CompTIA? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. CompTIA. Yeah, CompTIA. CompTIA. That one is really good when it comes to the fundamentals of systems and networking. Before you even go to do a certificate for a specific vendor like Cisco and Juniper, CompTIA will have given you the most basic fundamentals of networking and systems, because it will give you how to configure a network with a system. Yeah, so it's the most basic fundamentals of networking and systems. I think it's also really good that you start with that one before you jump to Cisco and Juniper and the like. This one is not vendor locked. It's just the general networking. So you get the idea of the general networking, and once you have that with CompTIA, then you can go to next level of specifying one vendor that you can do a certification for. So that one is for networking. So we just talked about Cisco, we just talked about Juniper and CompTIA, and I said, guys, make sure that you do the labs. Do the labs. That will give you the confidence of going for that interview. Look for the open source simulators, because I know purchasing for content that has labs can really be expensive, and so look for the open source simulators that can help you to run those commands. That's how I can advise for now. The next thing in IIT that I want us to look at today is cloud certifications. Guys, we know cloud, it's really being embraced by many companies at the moment, and you doing certifications for cloud, you can actually get a job in those cloud providers themselves, or in a company that use a certain cloud provider to run their operations. Yeah. So when it comes to cloud, we know there are different cloud providers. The major ones being Amazon, Azure from Microsoft, and Google Cloud. So guys, sometimes someone can really become frustrated on which certificate can I do for me to be able to to get started in the field of cloud computing. I can tell you guys, all these cloud providers, they have the same concept. The concept is the same. When it comes to cloud, you only look at three things: compute, networking, and storage. Compute, networking, and storage. And going forward, guys, we are going to be defining these things, because I said in the future videos, we'll actually be doing hands-on, where we'll actually be learning the actual learning of these different technologies. So kindly stay tuned for that, but that will come way later. where I can actually share screen and do like one-on-one and do coaching on different technologies. So that one will be coming. So kindly share this channel and so that so many people can subscribe and we can learn together. So when it comes to cloud, guys, the concepts they are the same. That's what I was trying to say. Like compute is found everywhere, networking is found everywhere, storage is found everywhere. Those are the three fundamental or rather the building blocks of a cloud environment. So if you do a certification for Amazon, for example, AWS, the concept will be the same if you did the same certifications for Azure or Google. The only difference is how they name some of their things, the naming, but the concept is still the same. So don't strain yourself doing a certification for Amazon or another one for Google. Those certifications can be really many and they can frustrate you. What I'm trying to say here is the concept is the same. If you do a certificate for Amazon and you finally get a job for a company that uses Google, you'll actually still apply the same knowledge that you got in Amazon to Google. The only difference could be naming and maybe some 1, 2, 3 things here and there, but most of the things are actually the same concept. So guys, for a starter, for when you're starting, coming into the cloud environment and you want to do certifications for Amazon, another thing I'll say is for that company that you would really want to work for, you can try to find out which cloud provider they're using. If they're using Amazon, then maybe you start with certifications for Amazon. If they're using Google, then maybe you start with a certification for Google. If they're using Azure from Microsoft, then maybe you can start with a certification from Azure. But the main point here is you've found out that this company is using this cloud provider. And so guys, even if you do one for Azure, I still repeat that the concept is the same. The only thing that differ is probably the naming and maybe some structures here and there, but not so many. So guys, for Amazon, they have this certificate called practitioner. Practitioner actually just give you the overview of Amazon products. You will start learning about their EC tools, their networking, but it's really on the basic level. So that one I can I advise you to start with that one if you've not come into cloud computing yet. If you're getting started, then you can start with Amazon practitioner course. For Azure, they have what we call Azure fundamentals. You can start with that one. And Google, they have what we call Google Cloud certified. Yeah, Google Cloud certified. That's their starting point for those for those certifications. So for Amazon, it's practitioner. You can look out that one. For Azure, it's Azure Fundamentals, and for Google, it's called Google Cloud Certified. Yeah, those three. So from there you can pick up. If you're already working in the field of cloud, then there are so many other certifications which I think we'll talk about in our next video. This one was just for getting us started in the field of networking and getting us started in the field of cloud. So going forward, we will look deeper into higher level certifications, and also including the ones that I've done. I'll be able to explain those ones, how I got myself to do it, how I studied for my exams, and how I finally passed those exams. So for now, it was just for the fundamentals. And stay tuned for the next video as we look at more certifications in the field of IT that can actually make you get a job. Bye for now and see you in the next one.